just quickly what we've done here. We have 3 of these lights. Then we also picked up 2 different types of insulation. And then we also got some of this foam core stuff. So the plan is we're gonna fill up these cavities with fiberglass, and we're gonna come over the top of that with this foam board. Each one of those spots up in the ceiling, we're gonna do some spray foam, really seal it off. We will pull these old fluorescent lights out, put the new LEDs up, and we should have a nice insulated ceiling. So here we are the next day. You can notice that spray foam expanded kind of a lot. Really, really solid. So it's got a great seal. So we're gonna do it on a couple more bays here, see how it goes. So here we are putting some furring strips up. This is where we're gonna put all the insulation on as we finish off the ceiling. We're gonna fill up all these bays with insulation and put some foam board up there as well.
A powder set gun for shooting, attaching things to concrete. It'll save us a lot of time.
The next step, we're gonna start putting insulation up. First, we're gonna use the pink stuff, some fiberglass insulation here, and we're just gonna fill in all the holes, and we'll come back over with the foam board to give it a nice finished seal. We're also gonna be using this tape. We're gonna be putting a ton of this on because the whole purpose is to make a completely airtight special adhesive for foam board. Don't use standard construction adhesive or Gorilla Glue or anything like that. You want to get the stuff specially designed for foam board. So we took our insulation, just cut it in half because it just works out that that's about 1 inch bigger than each one of these bays. So when you end up putting it up there, after you cut it in half, it sort of grabs on. So we're just kind of alternating and filling up that cavity with the insulation. It's not perfect, but we're doing the best we can given this type of ceiling. We got the insulation in all the bays and we've covered it with foam board insulation and sealed all the cracks. So now we have a nice insulated ceiling. All right guys, we're gonna apply this special caulk from a company called Trademark Soundproofing, and it basically just is really premium, permanent and flexible caulking that does a great job at creating really an airproof and permanent barrier. So we've gone ahead and added the acoustical caulk into every single nook and cranny where the insulation meets this and where the meets the concrete. And the whole purpose is just to give this whole room a nice permanent rubber seal, almost like a gasket on a cooler. We're about to set the first course on these ceiling tiles. So we've got the laser out and we're just gonna set a really straight line. You can see it up on the ceiling. We've marked it out with Sharpie. All right, quick update. We got little man on site. We were waiting to do some of these edges until the trim pieces got up. We were thinking about doing crown molding up here, but what we realized is with all the bolts and stuff sticking out, is going to be pretty difficult to find a product that matched. So we just did something custom really quick with these pine boards here. We'll sand these down, paint them white, and it'll be a nice sort of custom boxed in ceiling. All right guys, check it out. We are all done with these ceiling tiles. So you got everything up, everything's glued down. Had a couple little trouble spots that we put a little more glue in and had to get a little bit tricky in these corners, but pretty much all lined up, looking pretty good. So we masked everything off, covered up the lights with some paper, and covered up all the electrical components as well. We also ended up running out of panels, so we had to get a very, very similar panel, but you can see they're slightly different colors. No big deal. The pattern is the same, so once we paint this, you'll never be able to tell. Up next, you should see completely white, clean ceiling, including the trim. Then we'll start working on the next piece, which is likely the floor.